Alright, so I want to make a quick video about something that's been kind of like weighing on me for the past couple days, maybe almost a week now. So one of my friends has a type of storefront where they sell, clothing out of. It's like a branded store. It's not like a franchise or anything like that. And I was there visiting them. The store idea came up and I was, telling them ideas that they can do with things like on Instagram, just things in general for social media. After talking for just maybe a short time, it wasn't like a lengthy conversation. They're not exactly sure, what I do or what types of businesses that I do help or anything like that. We didn't get that much into it. But the things I was saying were just kind of getting, shot back like, oh no, that's not how it works for our business. Our business is different. When really 100%, I completely know that they had absolutely no idea. With all due respect, I love this friend. They're really cool, awesome person. But they know something about their expertise, which is the storefront, the clothing business, not social media or marketing or anything like that. So they had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. I kind of just cut the conversation off, kind of just changed subjects. I didn't want to get into it, so I thought about it for a couple more days. About 3 days ago, I wrote a Facebook message because it was still weighing on me. I knew that the person really doesn't understand how social media works. They just think it's a platform to spam out things, and they just expect people to like, share, and do all these other things. They have no idea about storytelling, things like that. So as I was driving home or whatever, then a couple days later, still weighing on me, I wrote a message to them on Facebook about things that they should be doing, things that they can be doing, things they're definitely doing wrong. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just send this message, and that'll just make me feel better to know that I put it down on paper, that they can always go back and reference it, whether they want to take the advice or not. Got a message back which just kind of floored me, which read something like, we don't have the money for a marketing consultant, and which was the complete opposite of anything that I said in the message to them, which was all about authenticity and using their competitive advantage over the big box stores, by showing who they are as business owners, the fact that they can take individualized pictures of, people in the clothing store, the actual clothing there with the business owners. They can tell the story of the business owners. Big box stores cannot do that, so that's a competitive advantage that I was kind of talking about. And the message back was about they don't have the money to hire was that they just don't have the money to hire a marketing consultant. And I figured, well, they obviously didn't grasp anything of what I said, which is not their fault. This is I have to understand, as somebody who's who wants to get customers, and I would never have charged her for to help, but I have to understand that trying to sell my services, even though I'm selling that, I'm really just selling the idea that this can help her business, whether I'm charging or not. I don't think it matters at all. So after I got that reply message about they don't have money for a marketing consultant, I had to clarify and say, no, that's the last thing you need. And I gave 4 directive points. So do this, and this, and it included things like, you need to tell your story as business owners. You need to take authentic pictures. They're posting pictures that the manufacturer of the clothing is sending them. So the manufacturer is taking pictures of a person that is nowhere in their boutique or in their storefront, in their store. The model has nothing to do with them, and they're just reposting that to Instagram or Facebook, getting almost no engagement at all on any platform. So definitely that system doesn't work because there is no story behind that. There's no emotion. There's no storefront. They need a set model to do every single picture, or a set of group of models. They need to do the pictures in the clothing that they have in the store. They can't just take the stock images that the manufacturer is sending them, because everybody's using those images. They're not authentic. They're not unique to their store, their branded store. So that was one of the directives, which is maybe one of the most important, is just the authenticity, to be authentic. I didn't exactly read the last reply. I didn't really want to, but I figured once I gave the 4 directives about what to do, I hope it kind of helped clarify some things or help some things. I did get a reply back. I didn't read the whole message because it's not anything where it needs to be a back and forth. But at the end, it said something like, eventually we're going to have to outsource this to, you know, a social media company, which I wanted to just start pounding my head on the wall, because it's the absolute last thing any type of business should do, is to outsource their social media marketing, their social media storytelling, which is what it is. You never want to outsource it. You want to be authentic. You want to be the one doing it, and you never want to outsource it. And my whole message said that, but it just didn't register with them, which kind of just made me want to punch myself, because it just didn't get through. But that's the point of this video, why I wanted to make it, maybe so I can look back on it in a couple years, because everyone that I do encounter, I know that they do need the help, that this would help their business without a doubt, but they're not going to accept it. They're not going to accept the idea. And instead of going back and forth or arguing or trying to get a new customer over and over again, or trying to get the same customer and convince them that this is going to work for you, there's 100, 1,000 other companies out there, other people that actively know that this is what is going to help them. They just don't know how to do it. So that's the basic point of this video, is instead of trying to convince a possible customer that you know that it can help them, you need to go find in what in sales they call the low-hanging fruit. It sounds stupid and very cliche, but I think that's what I'm going to really concentrate on, and make sure I never get into this again, where I'm trying to convince someone that they need help, or convince them that there is a problem when they're posting Facebook pictures and getting 1 like and 1 share from the page manager and nobody else. I need to stop convincing them that there's a problem and they need to change something, and just give up and be like, well, I explained that they have a problem. If they don't understand it, I just have to move on and stop caring. Probably what was different about this one was the fact that this person was my friend, and I was like, wow, maybe if I try again and try again. But I still should have just gave up, or maybe done what I did, but somehow not let it affect me. But maybe I'm human and it's still affecting me. I still think about it. I'm like, I just want to shake them and be like, no, you don't get it, and you're gonna kick yourself in 5 years when 10 other storefronts around you realize that the right way to use social media and interact with people and be authentic, and they're blowing you out of the water, and then you're out of business, and they're going to look back in 5 years and be like, oh, I wish I listened to him. And I'll be like, yeah, you should have listened to me. But all right, that's the end of this. So I hope maybe somebody learned from this. Besides me, I definitely learned a lot from it. But yeah, low-hanging fruit, grab it. Save the trouble. You don't have to convince them there's a problem. They know there's a problem. You just have to show them how to fix it.